Hello, I'm Chris Osmond, and this is Solutions. Enough complaining, let's fix America. The next recurring segment that I want to create is called Decentralize It. And there are plenty of things in this country that need to be decentralized. Today, I'd like to talk about unions and how we can decentralize unions. First off, they're very weak nowadays. So, one of the arguments that was always used against unions was the fact that union leadership was corrupt. So they were always saying, people would not want to be part of a union because the leadership was corrupt. Well, one of the interesting things that people can do to avoid the corruption of having union leadership is to have no union staff. Just allow the workers to go out there and unionize and have decentralized votes where everybody has a vote and can determine what the union would do when the union will strike instead of having these set rules that are set up by a centralized union leadership. That does not make sense anymore because power corrupts and absolute power corrupts absolutely. It's been proven time and time again. So, one of the things you can do if you don't have to wait for union leadership to make decisions for you is you can strike immediately and you can make your demands immediately. If you don't have to wait for the union leadership to get together and vote, and you can just get people to just get a majority of the people to vote on whatever topic that you'd like to have them vote on, you don't have to worry about it being corrupt. And then the other solution is worker co-ops. But before I go into that, that's going to be another topic that I will discuss later on in one of the segments that's coming up soon. But worker co-ops basically democratize your workplace, and they give everybody the opportunity to have their voice heard. So those are three solutions to centralized unions. There might be other solutions out there. As I said, the solutions I offer are only suggestions. They might be the answer, they might not be the answer, but I hope that they will be the starting point for people to go out and research on their own and figure out things or answers or solutions to some of their own problems. As always, there will be links to some of the ideas that I put forward here. There's a couple small unions that have formed where it's a decentralized union. In another recurring segment that I'd like to call things that should not be privatized, I'd like to talk about our general food production. I don't know if you've heard, but in the news lately, they've been talking about, or there's been concerns expressed about how our food supply chain is breaking. And it's because people are getting sick in some of these plants that process the food that we eat. Now, maybe we should not be reliant on such centralized systems, especially when it comes to food. You don't eat, you die. So maybe we shouldn't have it so that private corporations have such control over our food supply. Um, they can either directly uh, cause a breakage in the chain, or as with COVID-19, it could be an indirect, some other catalyst that causes that chain to break. But imagine this: there are right now so many people who are looking at victory gardens. They're looking at growing their own food, and this is something that should have, if had it been started years ago, maybe we would have a system in place where food could be grown locally, whether that be victory gardens where every individual is growing, or if you have corporations, or not corporations, but you have small companies that start up that help you grow food on your property, and they could pay you. Like I've seen food co-ops where people actually lease the space in front of someone's yard who does not have the time to take care of and grow plants. They lease the space and they pay in food. Usually they get the land for free, and the two benefits to the landlord is that they get some of the crop for free, and they also have their yards maintained for free. So there are systems out there that could solve a lot of the problems that we're facing as our food supply chain breaks. So, like I said, solution one: grow more locally, um, and support local growers. And solution two, get rid of the lawns. Grass is not indigenous. That's why they require so much watering. And even, it's like landscapers, they could convert to growing actual food crops for people instead of maintaining and tending lawns, which you can't eat. You can't eat lawns. And if a grocery store is shut down, or if the transportation ends up having a problem, you have 3 days of food on your grocery store, on your grocery shelves. That's not a lot of food to maintain, in an instance, in a situation that we face right now, because our government is not doing anything to make life better, or to make life survivable. They're basically just not doing anything but giving more money to the wealthy. So let's stop being so reliant on corporations to feed us. Let's stop being so reliant on centralized systems to take care of us, because right now they're kind of showing their weakness. And we're all showing our weakness because we're all beholden or at the mercy of a lot of these food companies and these food chains that, when it comes down, push comes to shove, they're going to take care of themselves before they take care of the people.